everyone, welcome to another video. Let's talk about why I'm doing this. It's another Halo Infinite video. We've beaten this game to death, and honestly, this is probably going to be my last Halo Infinite video for a while because I don't think there's going to be much to talk about with Halo Infinite now. But as you can see, like, this game, as I titled the video, it's officially fucking dead. It's over. I've been very vocal about my disappointment with how 343 and even how Microsoft has handled Halo Infinite, but nothing could prepare me for what was revealed today after, you know, we had a couple developers on Twitter like hyping up what was coming with Season 3, what they were going to do, try to get players back in, and then we got all of these bombshells today. So let's go ahead and talk about these bombshells. As you can see, this article comes to us from IGN. Halo Infinite Forge mode gets November release date, but split screen co-op is canceled. Yes, that's right. As I have predicted time and time again, things were going to get canceled with this game. The biggest thing I predicted is that the split screen version of co-op is going to be canceled. It has officially been canceled. The reasons they're giving for it are also extremely laughable. We're going to talk about that today, but I just want to get through this article. I want to read some stuff, and we're going to dive into this terrible fucking update. I feel bad for anybody that's still playing this game. Halo Infinite is finally getting Forge mode, launching November 8th, 2022. Man, it's hard to say the words 2022 out loud. And the full release of online campaign co-op will now arrive on the same day. Keep in mind, this was something that was supposed to launch in August and then launched as a beta. You're going to hear the term beta thrown around a lot in this video. Sadly though, split screen co-op has been canceled entirely. In a new update, developer 343 announced the details of its winter update coming on November 8th, which comes with some long-awaited modes. Forge mode will allow Halo Infinite fans to essentially create their own content, building new maps with a sophisticated editor and sharing them among the community. Arriving as a beta, we're still not totally sure on included features, although some leaks have looked impressive. We'll touch upon Forge in a minute here because I think a lot of the Halo community is split on this. There are some people that are really excited about Forge and think it's almost going to be the savior of this game, and other people like me who just think, yeah, it's great, but it's too little too late. 343 Industries is also launching 2 new multiplayer maps on November 8th, which will showcase exactly what Forge can do, as they were made entirely in Forge. Basically, what they did here was the developers made 2 maps in Forge, and they're going to shove those out as official maps. Alright, so the first thing you're going to notice when you look at this roadmap is that, gee, I wonder what's winter update? Why is it not just Season 3? Oh, that's because actual Season 3 has been delayed until March of next year. So you're telling me the current season that started in May is now going to last until March of 2023, making it a 9-month-long season. And that is correct. The winter update is kind of just a very, very small update that's going to launch a couple things, but it's not the next season. So they have officially delayed Season 3 until March of 2023. Let's talk about what you're going to get in the winter update though. So you're going to get the Forge beta. Yes, we're calling this a beta, even though Forge is being flighted right now. For some reason, this is being launched as a beta. You're going to see the word beta thrown around a lot on this sheet. Campaign, network, co-op, and mission replay. So yes, one of the biggest features, if you haven't watched any of my previous videos on this, is that Halo Infinite doesn't have an ability to replay missions. So while Halo Infinite is a different game than other Halo games, specifically because it's an open world game, so the mission structure is a little bit different. It will transition into you know, a normal type of mission when you hit that point in the game, but once you finish the mission objective, which usually involves you walking into like a cave or a dungeon or something like that, if it was any other, you know, open world game, once you leave that area, you can't go back in, which it actually fucked me over on getting the last skull that I needed when I played the game, and that pissed me off because I'm not going to replay this entire game to get one skull. They're giving out a free 30-tier battle pass for this, so everybody's just going to get this battle pass. And then they have 2... Man, it's hard for me to say it without laughing. 2 new maps. And I hesitate to use the term new because like I said here, these maps that are being released, they're fucking they're Forge maps. They're maps that the developers just dicked around with in Forge and then are throwing up as maps. So I have a hard time saying that. Underneath that, you'll notice some other interesting features, such as a beta for Match XP. Yes, you read that right. They're going to flight a progression system change. That's correct. They are flighting and running a beta for a progression system change. That's fucking insanity. That's just ridiculous. They're going to have one new game mode. It's Covert One Flag. They're going to have a December event called Winter Contingency 2. They're going to have a January event called Joint Fire. And then they just threw down here generically quality of life improvements. Now, real quick, let's talk about Season 3, which lands on March 7th, 2023. So it's called Echoes Within. You're going to get new maps, arena and big team battle. That's all it says. That, like, how many maps? I mean, let's fucking be honest here. They'll probably shit out like 2. Because that's all this team apparently is capable of. And I'm taking the gloves off at this point. I'm tired of hearing everybody, like, Halo fans are defending 343. There's no defending it anymore. This is just fucking lazy. I don't know if there's internal turmoil. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not defending it anymore. The gloves are off. This is just absolute shit. They're going to throw a new weapon. Hey guys, there's a new weapon. One. M392 Bandit, like, cool. It's one new weapon. A new piece of equipment called the Shroud Screen. It just looks like the fucking bubble thing. It just looks like the bubble shield from Halo 3. Let's be fair. And then a new 100-tier battle pass you'll have to purchase, of course. Underneath that, we're gonna have a custom game browser, in-game reporting. Fuck, I thought in-game reporting was a part of every game on Xbox Live. What the fuck are we doing? New game modes, VIP and Escalation. Wow. New Fracture event, new narrative event, Forge beta updates. So we're still going to be in beta for Forge in March. And then, of course, my favorite, quality of life improvements. All right, and here we get to my favorite thing, and then I'm going to go on to my real rants on Halo Infinite. So as I said before, the campaign co-op online is coming November 8th, being delayed once again, but, supposedly be at November 8th. However, the split screen co-op has been canceled. Here's the reason given by 343 Industries. In order to improve and accelerate ongoing live service development and to better address player feedback and quality of life updates, we have reallocated studio resources and are no longer working on local campaign split screen co-op. So I had to sit here for a minute as I read it and think back on it because it's so fucking preposterous to me. They are basically using the excuse because let's be honest, the split, what is it called? The slip space engine that they're quoting, that they're using in this is such a broken fucking piece of garbage that they cannot salvage it. So instead of just being honest and saying, you know what, we built Halo Infinite on this broken engine that just doesn't work for our game. Instead, the excuse is, oh, well, we're just reallocating these people to work on live service stuff for the game. The problem I have with that excuse is that it's not, like, nothing's being shown. The fruit of the labor is not being shown here. And that's one of my biggest problems, if not the biggest problem I have with Halo Infinite. This is a live service game, as I've said many times before, that doesn't have a continuous live service. They shit out very small updates. They give you 1 or 2 maps, and that's it. And then they keep blaming, first it was COVID. Well, COVID hit. I understand that. I'm sympathetic to that. I'm not saying that didn't happen for everybody, but now it's becoming very apparent that COVID's not the biggest problem with Halo Infinite. This is a game that was in development for 6 fucking years, and when it launched so bare bones that it's going to take years, probably longer in terms of years, than it took to fix the Master Chief Collection when that launched back in 2014. When you play the Master Chief Collection today, it is a fucking phenomenal collection that not only, services the Halo fan by allowing you to play Halo 1, 2, 3, 4, Reach, and ODST, but it also has all those multiplayer maps and Forge from each various Halo game that had a Forge mode. It's an incredible package. It's on Game Pass, for fuck's sake. Like, just play. If you're a Halo fan, you're probably just playing that, and they continuously update that game as well. They're still throwing content into it. They have kind of their own version of a battle pass in there, but it's free. You're not paying for it like you are here in Halo Infinite. And that's because you also have to keep in mind, Halo MCC was never a live service game and never intended to be. Halo Infinite probably never intended to be a live service game when it first started development. And then, obviously, games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, Roblox, all these things that have insane microtransactions forced 343 and Microsoft's hand into making a game that is a live service game. The problem is, this is not a great live service game. They're not delivering the live service part of the fucking game. So what the fuck is the point of playing this game at this point? They've literally proven that they don't have content. They've delayed this season. They've extended this season and delayed the next one. It is now a 9 fucking month season. That's unheard of across any live service game. It's just unbelievable how fucking ridiculous this is. And yet I keep seeing different channels out there. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name channels because I don't want to get into it with these people. You know, but I see flip-floppers, I like to call them, where, like, you'll get 2 videos in the same day. I have a good example of it today. There was one specifically prominent Halo channel that posted a video this morning and was like, I'm speechless that this happened. Within hours, they're fucking posting, you know, oh, everything's okay because Forge mode is going to save the game. Forge mode is not going to fucking save Halo Infinite, okay? Like, Forge mode is a mode where you create different maps, and if Halo Infinite was a proper live service game, 343 Industries would use that as a content drip to put more maps into the rotation by picking user-created maps, maybe having a community vote on them, you know, something that Bungie used to do 10 years ago. Is 343 going to do that? Fuck no, they're not going to do that. So what is the point of Forge mode then? You're creating cool shit and playing custom games? Like, that's cool for a very small amount of people, but most Halo players would agree they just want to play new maps, and they want to have regular updates, and they also want to progress through the game in a normal way, which leads me to my next thing. As I mentioned it here, a Match XP progression system beta. Are you fucking kidding me? This game launched with one of the worst progression systems I've ever seen in any online video game, ever. And now the response here, you know, for this is, well, we're just gonna beta this, like, and that's another thing on this is, like, anything that they're not sure of, they just throw the term beta on. I almost can guarantee you that when we hit November, one of these features is going to get delayed. It's either going to be online co-op is delayed till March, or it's going to be fucking Forge is delayed till March. I highly doubt both of these major features that should have been in this game day one will actually make it on November 8th. And you also have to look at this and say, okay, so when are these features actually going to be out of beta? We're probably looking at fall 2023. So you have to sit here and tell me that realistically, Halo Infinite, a game that was originally going to launch with the Xbox Series X launch back in November of 2020, is actually maybe going to be ready for prime time in the fall of 2023. 3 fucking years later. That is unbelievable. If this was any other company, they would fire this fucking studio, take their beloved franchise, and give it to somebody else. Microsoft has like 20 some studios that they could choose from. Give it to anybody. I don't fucking care who it is. My pick would be id Software. They make great fucking shooters. Doom, Quake, Wolfenstein. Give it to them. They will fucking make a better Halo game than 343 can. I think one of Microsoft's biggest mistakes back in the early 2010s was creating studios named after things that have to do with the game. So, for example, 343 Industries is named after 343 Guilty Spark, a villain in Halo. And wow, when you look at it 10 years later, that's very ironic that the studio is named after a fucking Halo villain. And the same goes with the Coalition and Gears of War. You shouldn't have named that studio after something related to the game, because now they have this, like, you know, feeling that it has to be tied to this studio forever. It doesn't. You can take this property off of this studio. It's okay. They have fucking failed time and time again since 2014 with the Master Chief Collection. Some people would argue Halo 4 is where they first started to fail. I disagree with that, but it's clearly Master Chief Collection had so many failures until they patched and fixed and patched and fixed. Halo 5 went in this asinine direction that nobody wanted to fucking play. Everybody hated that campaign. I don't know anybody out there that enjoyed that campaign and thought that was a good progression of the Halo story. Turning Cortana into a bad guy, having you play as a character that's not Master Chief, also not doubling down on the promise of what the game story was going to be from the trailers that were released, which those trailers actually got me hyped for the game, and then the story had nothing to do with those trailers. And now you have Halo Infinite, a game that took 6.5 years to launch and launched as a broken shell of a video game. Halo's dead, folks. Halo Infinite's dead. Halo as a franchise has never been in a worse fucking place between its ass terrible TV show that I refuse to watch the second season of because it is fucking garbage. This is a franchise I grew up with. This is a franchise I've loved for 20 years, and it's just ridiculous to see how much Microsoft has fucked this franchise up. It is insane. I mean, look at the shelf behind me. You can see Master Chief stuff. I have a fucking Halo 4 system. There's a painting up there my girlfriend did of Master Chief. I love this franchise. Nobody is more bummed about its death at this point than I am. So, what's the future for Halo? I have no fucking idea, and I don't think anybody else does. And until Microsoft actually drops a set here and fucking takes the idea to give this franchise to some other studio, they own so many of them, just flip a fucking coin. I don't care. Like, just give it to anybody. Anyone can make a better Halo game than 343 at this point. Just do it. That's kind of the point of my thesis here. Anyways, guys, I'd love to know in the comments, are you still playing Halo Infinite? Do you fucking even care about Halo Infinite anymore? Do you think it's dead like I do? As always, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time.